Evans.
Good morning, boys. How we doing? A day before 4th of July. Hope we all got the grill brushes ready and everything.
Spectacular.
All right, boys. The disaster continued for the
So
Cubs.
you're not going to ask me, Charlie? You're just going to barrel through?
I threw it out there. It was an open-ended one.
Well, I didn't get a chance to get my thought out.
All right.
But you know what?
Damn.
Go ahead, Jack. Just go ahead. Just barrel through. Here's AI Jack.
It's smoky.
Wait a minute. No, it's wait.
Jack and Smokey are different.
Well, I don't know.
I know that. Smoky is Justin Pottinger.
There was no room for me to get my thoughts out, Cap. So we're going to let Charlie just go ahead. Go ahead,
Buddy,
Charlie.
how are you doing today, buddy?
You know what's great to ask, man? I'm still aggravated about the White Sox yesterday, but the point is, just like the manager for the Cubs would say, Craig Counsell, tomorrow's another day, another ball game.
Yeah, we'll get him tomorrow.
Get him tomorrow.
Offense had a chance in the first inning and didn't come up with a big hit. And thought Hayden threw a few nice strikes.
Yeah.
But obviously left the ball up in the zone a little bit.
Yeah.
Got hit hard. We'll just try and see what we can do tomorrow.
That's
a
it.
tough stretch.
That's tough stretch. That's exactly right. That's what he says. That's about it. I appreciate.
I want to know, does he ever show any emotion ever?
No,
Like, does he come home and go, pass the salt?
No,
Jeez.
I don't think so.
Craig, settle down.
I think he stays calm because he's got that dark, suspiciously dark hair. So I would say that he's very calm.
Like, if his pizza showed up and the sauce and the cheese had slid all the way to the side, does he go, oh, well, hope the next pizza will be better? Or does he go, hey, this is Craig Counsell. I want another pizza delivered here.
I don't think he does. I don't think anything bothers him.
East, Craig.
Nope. Well, I appreciate
my God.
I appreciate you asking how I'm doing because Charlie is ready to go, barreling in. Go ahead, Charlie.
Misread the
Charlie just
room.
doesn't care.
Oh, of course I
He's
care.
like, I'm there from 7 to 10. I don't have to deal with those two jackasses.
No,
Yeah.
never.
It's fine, but go ahead. He misread the room, even though I'm in the room. Here's Charlie Bevins. Charlie?
It's a fair point. All right, gentlemen. The disaster continued for the Cubs last night with another loss, as we've talked about. As has been discussed in the past, however, because of MLB draft lottery rules, teams like the White Sox and the A's can't pick as high as their record suggests they might. So shot or no shot, the Cubs should tank to guarantee a top pick in next year's draft.
Well, first of all, I believe I'm right that right now the Cubs would pick 5th.
You're locked in.
Those are the odds right now. They have them at 5th, and I believe I saw a 14% chance for 1, 9% chance, something like that.
Can you imagine if they ended up with the number 1 pick in the draft? Cleveland's picking 1 this year, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Cap.
They're running away and hiding. They're 20-some over.
Unless that pick is Paul Skeens, then what does it matter? I mean, ultimately you win with stars. I'm just saying this has to be a phenom if you can slip slide your way to first. It has to be like a guy you could bring up in a couple of years. I'm watching Ed Howard film on Marquee, still waiting for him to come up at some point.
How old is he? 40?
He's not 40 years old. I was watching him.
He was drafted out of high school.
So long ago, Theo was here.
Sweet swing, Ed Howard. I like it.
Yeah.
But Cap, it has to be someone special. I mean, we can't talk about the MLB draft the way we talk about the NBA draft, even the NHL draft, NFL draft. I mean, it's a crapshoot unless it's someone really special. So, I mean, you tank if you want. The reason why that you want to do that, Charlie, is if you just feel like, okay, $230 million, and if Tom says, okay, how much money we're spending, and for my ROI, I'm getting last place and a non-playoff finish again, okay, that's enough of this. They'll come out to the ballpark. Now we go back to the old Tribune days. Don't worry. 40,000 people in the ballpark. We'd be in last place. It's fine. You don't want to go back to those days, Charlie. You weren't around for that. You don't want to go to those places where Cap's aggravated on a nightly basis talking about, 40,000 at the ballpark and then no standards as a ball club.
Those old Trib, I mean, I feel like those old Trib days, they got they got the World Series, and now now my legacy is defined, so I'm just gonna be focused only on the bottom line and not the product on the field. That's what it feels like.
Ricketts doesn't feel that way. Ask Cap. Cap, do you think that Ricketts is satisfied saying that the coffers are open and we got multiple revenue streams, so we're good like the old Tribune days? I don't think so.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. First of all, I truly believe, and people out there be like, he doesn't want to spend any money. That's not true. They are at $227 million. I read this to you guys yesterday, and I won't go through the whole deal, but I pulled this up the other day from my guy Joe at Obvious Shirts. He listed the standings. I'll just do our division, not all of baseball. Milwaukee's in first, $108 million payroll. St. Louis in second, $175. Pittsburgh in third, $84 million. Cincinnati in fourth, $103 million. Chicago Cubs, dead last, $227 million. They are far and away the big spender, and they're the worst team. If I'm Tom, stop telling. Like, Tom's too nice. He feels like he has to educate people. Well, the TV deal is in this, and we got this issue with revenue, and we're trying to do this. He needs to speak the truth. I gave them $227 million, and they squandered it. And you're telling me I'm cheap? Stick it. Because it's not true. Could he spend more? Sure. But why should he? They haven't demonstrated they're going to do anything with it.
Here's Charlie Bevins.
All right.
Jesus.
All signs point to DeRozan on his way out the door for the Bulls. DeMar, I think you could say, was an instantly transformative player here in Chicago. He gave him a shot in the arm, hit some really big shots, but there was also no real playoff success. And you could argue that his contributions in that 22 run went a long way of the Bulls locking themselves into Zach LaVine, who they now can't get off of. Shot or no shot, the DeRozan experience wasn't worth it.
No, that's a no shot because you had, to me, a solid veteran in the room, Charlie, that gave you his all. Look, you can go through the numbers and say, well, DeRozan, you can't use him because he's only a two-point shot guy. He doesn't shoot well from three or doesn't even attempt threes enough in today's basketball. But it was still buckets. It was still him with his penchant to get to the basket. I liked him being on this team, and I know he hasn't won a championship yet, but look at all the places that he's been. From Toronto, San Antonio, if I'm not mistaken as well. He's always been a good glue guy, good locker room guy, good glue guy. It wasn't like he was a gross underachiever. You want to say that about Vucevic? We can have that argument. But I always thought that DeRozan was just a solid player for this Bulls team. It's a guy you didn't have to worry about. You worried about LaVine and his shooting prowess at times, hot and cold for him. But with DeRozan, Cap, I always thought that he, for the most part, steadied the waters offensively for the Bulls.
Look, he came in and played the game the right way. He embraced our city. He is active in community stuff here. He has talked openly about how much he loved being a Bull, liked ownership, liked management, loved the coach. Like, he said all the right things. They let him down, man. They never made a move to try and improve this team. And they can tell me all they want. They did. What was that? Drafting Dalen Terry? Julian Phillips? Come on now. We'd had a better chance with Wilson Phillips. I mean, it's ridiculous that they do nothing to improve this freaking roster. And you got a guy selling out, trying to help, playing every night, 38, 40 minutes, every night. And they did nothing to try and take that roster to the next level.
And all Bulls fans are just trying to hold on for one more day.
That's exactly right.
I always thought with DeRozan, like, I very much appreciated the Bulls looking at the landscape of things and being like, you know what we're tired of? Being the 11 seed in the East every year. Like, let's go be good. Let's go get better. My whole thing comes back to, like, we always kind of knew what the ceiling was, and maybe it was a failure around DeRozan more so than it was a failure of DeRozan. I just always had a little bit of a tough time wondering what the eventual ceiling would have been for a team where your best player is DeRozan.
Don't you know things could change, things could go your way if you hold on for one more day. Can you hold on? Yeah, for one more day. Things will go your way. Hold on for one more day. Thank you, Jerry. Charlie?
All right, so tomorrow's the 4th of July, and one of the newer developments we've seen a little bit more on social media.
I know there's pain, but you hold on for one more day.
Beautiful, Jerry.
Break free from the chains. Yeah, I know there's pain, but you hold on. Yeah, for one more day. Break free from the chains. Yeah, hold on for one more day. Here's Charlie Bevins.
But concerns about fireworks, I think the last, 10, 15 years on social media have been coming up a lot. A lot of people, at a certain point, it's 10 o'clock, let's go home. People have dogs. People have issues with the fireworks. So shot or no shot, there should be a cutoff time for fireworks.
Ideally, in a little small town. But in Chicago?
What do you mean by a cutoff time?
Like 10 o'clock in your neighborhood, and you're like, no more fireworks. People got to work tomorrow. People got to go to bed. People got dogs.
You sound 80 years old, and you're one of the youngest guys on the roster here. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's embarrassing, Charlie. You're better than that.
You're one of the young, up-and-coming stars of the station, Charlie. Charlie, you're going to have your own show soon, okay? I've been hearing. I heard the air checks. You're going to have your own show. Are you going to really get on the air, get behind one of these microphones and say, the fireworks, it should be cut off at 10. I think it's too late.
I don't know if it's too late, but sometimes, I'm like, all right, like, I got stuff to do tomorrow. Let's wrap this up. So maybe I'm a little too curmudgeon-y.
So they need to adjust their fireworks schedule for you.
Yeah, I'm not alone, right? Like, there's other people got stuff going on the 5th.
How long you live in Chicago?
I've been here 5, 6 years. I mean, like, even when I was a kid growing up, I remember being like 8 or 9 years old and being like, hey, it's a little loud. Like, can we...
What the hell are we doing here?
Charlie, you're embarrassing.
That's just unbelievable.
Yeah, just turn in your headphones
I thought you said fireworks are overrated, Cap.
That has nothing to do with it. I don't put a time limit on it. I do think they're overrated.
Look, I've been hearing them since January on the south side. Well, wait a minute. That's not fireworks. But the point is, though, is that I've been hearing sounds. I mean, you could just tell because I'm in South Shore. They're going right over to the Indiana border. They're going over to Yurko's in that area, and they're bringing the fireworks over to Chicago. Cap, actually, I've been hearing fireworks since Memorial Day, because those places are open, or you can get them on Amazon, whatever. And I've been hearing them in my alley for months now. Yep. So it's just, it's just part of the aesthetics of living in the city. I'm just used to sound. I just am.
I love seeing them. I don't love hearing them.
What are you gonna do about it? You're gonna go in the street and tell them to stop?
Yeah, I know. There's nothing. I'll just march down to Springfield and demand it.
Oh yeah, because that'll work. Yeah, do that, Cap. That's good. In the land of Lincoln, here comes Charlie Bevins with his democracy.
Could you guys turn down the fireworks, please?
Yeah, so my dogs, well, Stanley doesn't care, but Sparky does not like fireworks. The late Yoshi, he did not like fireworks as well. But 2 nights ago, it was like somebody had an AK-47. I mean, it was like they had a whole thing. They lit it one time, and it went for like 30 seconds. I thought my poor dog was going to drop. Oh, man. Like, there's got to be some air. Like, the pro shows, I don't care what time they do it at.
Yeah.
But the ones in someone's backyard, that's different.
That's kind of what I mean, though, Cap, is like, again, like if you're going down to the lake and you see the huge ones from, across the other side of the lake, you want to see those? That's completely different. I'm talking about, like, again, what you're referring to, the little package you get, and then you're just lighting them off in your backyard all night.
Well, I'd just like for you to go yard to yard and tell them, here's a Roman candle instead, or here's a sparkler. Here's a sparkler. Just do that. I want to see how that works in the city. Go ahead.
Burned my hand really bad on a sparkler one year.
Mm-hmm. And that's why he's anti-firework. That's what because he doesn't want it at a certain time. That's unbelievable. This guy. I didn't know that the sit-in for Shea is actually older than Shea, because Shea's 70.
Yeah, Shea is 70.
He's 70, so we got an 80-year-old now in Charlie Bevins. That's amazing. Young, spry Charlie Bevins. Hey, it's 10 o'clock. Why don't you go home, get some Ovaltine, sit down, read a book.
Ovaltine? Why isn't it Roundtine?
Hey, do you know where your kids are? Hey, light a Roman candle. I'm Charlie Bevins. Unbelievable. God, I mean, it's what it is, Cap. We always say on this show, you can't fight City Hall, right?
Correct.
Well, you can't fight. You can't make people, stop shooting fireworks, especially in the city. Why don't you come south? I know you haven't. Have you been to the Museum of Science? Have you even been south? You haven't been south since you've been here.
No, I have.
Have you? I don't mean the Sox
Park. Yeah, he walked down to the end of State Street at Randolph.
Charlie, why don't you ride with me?
All right.
Why don't you just
Check
ride
it
with
out.
me? I'd like for you to see. Let's go to Bronzeville. Let's go through
Ask people
South
to
Shore.
turn their fireworks
Drop
off.
them off, hoodie.
Here you go. Hey, Charlie, here's 78th and Green.
Get out.
Go right.
You guys are being a little loud.
Just see how that works. Go where I go. Just hang out, jerk chicken places, have fun. How about go with Jay Moore after the show? Go out west.
Full trip.
Drop him off someplace friendly, Jay Moore, so he could tell him to cut the fireworks off at 10.
You know that ain't happening out west.
No chance.
Around the NFL next on